We have fucking saw blades going through people, and you're worried about glass panes on steps. Hey guys, Nightfall here, and we got some surprise patch notes that just came out of left field, and after a quick glimpse, it's looking like they probably should have stayed out in left field because it looks like a doozy. But let's just get into it, I suppose. But actually, before we just get into it, I haven't done this in a while. Here's a reminder, just follow me on Twitter. If you like funny, random drama beef tweets, it'll be a good follow. In fact, just before starting to make this video, I just roasted the hell out of Brett Favre. Who knew? But anyway, let's just get started with factions. It's listed first, and the first thing on that list is Highwaymen, where they fixed an issue where firing one round of the grenade launcher and then immediately switching to another faction breaks weapon reloading. And that's it. No other Highwaymen fixes. No fix for crashing when spamming the saw launcher. No fix for crashing when shooting all 6 of the saw blades. No fix for the saw blades going through people like a weird magician's trick. Just a fix for an ability that like 1% of players actually use instead of the turret. But anyway, they also fixed an issue with Phantoms where they were being killed inside their Aegis bubble by people who used abilities inside of it like the saw launcher or the grenade launcher. Funny how they specify the Highwaymen abilities. So apparently people would just slide into the bubble, use one of these abilities and clearly miss, and it would still kill them. So now that that's fixed, I guess they're just basically invincible, because if we enter the bubble with the saw launcher, it doesn't matter if it hits them or not, they just won't die. I might just have to stop using Highwaymen overall if it wasn't for the turret with literal aimbot. But let's talk about some map changes now. Air and Space, you know that map, right? Everyone's favorite map. Well, they replaced the glass panes on the stairs so they can no longer be visible through the pall from the smoke grenades. Okay, listen. Who the hell writes these patch notes? I couldn't even tell you where I learned this word, probably in a book like 20 years ago, but I can promise you, more than half of the people reading these patch notes have no clue what that word even means, or probably have ever even seen it before. They probably read it as a pal. So let me put it in simple terms. It's just the dark cloud. I don't know why we're out here writing patch notes on fucking college reading levels. Arena. Yeah, there's a good map. Fixed a glitch, finally, where people were using the Highwayman turret to hop out of bounds and get up into the stands and then place the turret down somewhere out there. Yeah, made a video about this a while ago, or it was part of an intro or something at some point, and I have to apologize. I straight up lied to most of you. I know how to do this, or knew how to do this. I mean, of course I did. I have hundreds of hours of playtime with this faction, why wouldn't I? But I wasn't about to tell everyone for the sake of views, because Arena is a map that I enjoy and one that I play often in both pubs and ranked. And I don't want to deal with that shit in pubs or ranked, but especially ranked. Next up is game modes, and the first one we have is Bomb. And would you be shocked if I told you there were still issues with spectating in Bomb? Of course you wouldn't, because you know better. So they fixed an issue where in Bomb mode, while you're spectating, you no longer are looking out into space when your teammate changes factions. Then there was a CTF bug, which this is news to me, but apparently in Showtime, you could return the flag by taking it to the platform above the capture zone, which kind of seems like extra work to even do that. And in a game like Capture the Flag, I'm looking for the most efficient route, not the most eccentric. Up next is weapons, and if you're waiting for more weapon balance changes where they change the range or the damage or fire rate, then keep waiting, because it's not here. All they did with the weapon changes on this patch is fix an issue where your weapon would be invisible after canceling a deployment of a smoke grenade and or prox mine by quick swapping weapons, and then some weapon jitter issue while spectating, which I can only presume to be to stop people from thinking that some people were cheating, but it was just a camera bug. But talking about invisible weapons with using smoke grenades sort of makes you wonder what other exploits were there that caused them to delay the smoke grenade for over a month. Probably had whole people going invisible. Then we get some device updates, and who would have guessed? Smoke grenades. And all it says here is made small improvements to the radius. Okay, so what does that mean? Is it bigger? Is it more cloudy, less cloudy? What are we talking about here? The best part about patch notes is when they elaborate on the most unnecessary things like we'll see down below in some of the other audio fixes. But then some of the ones that clearly need further explanation, they're like, nah, they'll get it. And then we get to what I consider the star of the entire patch notes. High level players, specifically level 300 or higher, were throwing EMP grenades, causing entire lobbies to crash. Like, I'm sorry, what? Like, what the actual fuck? How? What? What? Why is level even tied to any device or anything like that in the game? And you know what? I have to blow the dust off the tinfoil hat and throw it back on for this one, because what other kind of skill or level based shit is going on in this game? Do higher level players have reduced aim assist? Because when you put it that way, it certainly feels like that. The higher in level I have gone, the worse aim assist feels to me. Of course, all speculation, but if someone has a better explanation on how something like this even happens with a specific level of a player crashing a lobby with a specific device, then please, by all means, let me know. Educate me. Then we have some netcode changes, and it's a pretty decent chunk of text, but let me sum it up. Specifically addresses the trading and should make it feel more natural when you trade. A little bit more in-depth, they just split it into two categories. High damage weapons like snipers, marksmen, shotguns, and some pistols, probably the Deagle and Magnum, will have a longer window, and every other gun that wasn't just named right there will have a shorter window. So this should translate to, if you're fighting MP7 versus ACR or something like that, you shouldn't trade often. But if you're fighting against any of the weapons mentioned above, like a sniper, you might find yourself trading a bit more frequently. Then we get some audio fixes, and the first one, blah blah, spiderbot explosion sound fix, cool, whatever. Just get rid of them already so people can stop bitching about them. I'm so tired of talking about spiderbots. They've been saying they were going to get rid of them since season 1, and people have been complaining since before season 1. They're so easy to counter. Shoot them, punch them, hijack them, EMP them, run away from them, but they still complain. But then we get some real audio fixes where gunfire and footstep sound effects were becoming muffled after dying in some situations. So that should be fixed. And then they adjusted footsteps to ensure, so they're now ensuring us that it's fixed, to ensure that sprinting, running, and walking fade in and out naturally at the correct distances, which, if you're wondering, is 35 meters for sprinting, 30 meters for running or not sprinting, which isn't really a run, and 25 meters for walking, which is just ADS walking. Crouch walking is still silent though, that is until season 3 when they give us the Assassin's Creed faction, and they come with some kind of a silent footstep passive, and people complain about how broken it is, and they rework it a month later to be only while crouched and make everyone else crouch walking loud as fuck, which inevitably will throw off the entire audio balance again, and we'll be right back where we started. Disclaimer, this is not a leak. I don't know if this is happening. All speculation. Please don't give me another copyright strike, Ubisoft. The one you gave me 90 days ago is almost gone. And then also your team's footsteps will only become audible at closer distances, which they didn't feel necessary to go into detail about the range on that one. And then last but not least, we get a quick fix for the Pyroclastic skin unlocking after 22 weapons instead of 23. Because God forbid we get it any sooner than we should have. But yet it took them how long to fix an issue where we actually had it unlocked, but couldn't use it on like 90% of the weapons. But there's your patch notes. Only like 2 more weeks until the next set and a new map. So at least we'll have something new, right? But how do you feel about these patch notes? W or L? And if you're watching this post-patch, let me know how the audio fixes are. Does everything sound accurate now? Or do you still have people sneaking up behind you completely silent? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.